Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sportsathon 2026. This is the station's sole fundraiser for the year, and it helps ensure that we maintain our equipment, travel to Northwestern sporting events across the country, and make sure to bring you the best coverage of Wildcat athletics. You can go to WNURsports.com and click on Sportsathon to donate and take a look at this year's outstanding premiums, including WNUR Sports hoodies, t shirts, and stickers. My name is Brielle Lowry. I'm joined with my wonderful co-host
Chelsea Robinson, and welcome to
HerTake.
HerTake.
We are also joined by three wonderful guests. If you guys could introduce yourselves.
I'm Sylvia Zeltzer.
I'm Ani Wirapana.
I'm Jonah McClure.
And yeah,
Amazing.
We're gonna have a fun show today because it's Sportsathon. Not that we always have fun.
We always have fun shows, but today it's a little bit less talking and a little bit more games, which is obviously going to be more entertaining for us and for you. And I think we can go ahead and get started with our first one.
Yeah.
It's something new that we came up with, called HerTake Hotline. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Everyone in the room is going to give a hot take, but make sure you can defend it.
Yeah, and we'll I don't know, we can debate, go against it, I don't know, have a fun time, but who wants to begin?
I can go.
Okay.
Amaze. My hot take is lower WNBA hoops.
Oh.
Meaning the games are smaller, as in like the entirety of the game. Like the 3-point line is shorter, the ball is smaller, the girls are shorter than the guys. Why aren't the hoops lower? Like maybe the game would be more entertaining and draw more viewership if the players could actually reach the hoop to dunk. And it's not like a physicality thing. It's like these women are just not as tall as these men. So why aren't we lowering the hoops?
Interesting.
Low-key,
So,
I don't even have a rebuttal for that. I feel like that's just
I feel like
it
you're
makes
gonna
sense.
get a lot of claims of people saying, oh, let's say a woman has some amazing, crazy dunk, never before seen. Let's say all-star dunk competition.
Okay.
And everyone's like, oh, but the hoop's shorter. So it's just kind of taking away from every little thing.
But then you can say the same things like, oh, but the ball's smaller. Oh, but the 3-point line
Very
is closer.
true.
Like, why are we picking and choosing what we're shrinking?
You could also say because there's also if someone's like, oh, but what if there's a really tall WNBA player? You could say the same.
What if
about,
there's a really
what
tall
if Victor
NBA?
Wembanyama
Yeah,
is on the
exactly.
court? Like he's already really tall in a dunk competition. You
Like
just have
any
to,
game when Wembanyama plays, we have to raise.
you have to raise it higher.
Interesting.
I have a rebuttal. I have a question for
Okay.
you. So I feel like women's soccer and men's soccer, they're different sports because they're different people, but it's the same field.
Okay.
Why? I feel like there are some practical aspects of making the hoop shorter. It's not accessible for everyone anymore. The women's courts are different than the men's courts.
No, they're the
When
same size.
you're growing up. No, when you're growing up and you have shorter hoops, I don't know how that's gonna work.
In what sense?
You gotta lower it for every game.
Do you mean
It's a lot of hassle.
leagues when you're U7?
Yeah.
It's things are
Well,
just
the hoops are
smaller 'cause
the
they're
hoops are
kids.
adjustable. It's not like a
Yeah,
physical
don't they
goal.
have,
They have to
those-
take out a whole one. They're all
have to
I
fill it in
don't know.
every time.
it's like me adjusting this mic. You know what I mean?
But I also think though that the fact that the women usually can't dunk, I feel adds some interesting tactical things to basketball.
But then wouldn't it make it
WNBA.
everyone wants to? You watch NBA to see all the cool spin moves and see all the cool dunks, and people want to watch the players because they have
That's true.
their signature thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's driving revenue, that's driving viewership, and we talk a lot about how there's not as much viewership for the WNBA, and people are less invested in the WNBA than they are in the NBA. Maybe it's because they literally can't reach the hoop to do those cool things.
It's true, but I do think that there is merit in having players that can make their own name in the situation that they have right now. Just being able to shoot from the logo and things like that. I think they're making their own way. So I don't know. I think it's a good point, but
I think that's a good hot take. Hence the point of the game. Love
True.
that. All right. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
I knew he was itching for it. I'm excited.
I'm nervous for this.
My hot take is that currently Northwestern is the best women's sports school in the country.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Northwestern has won the most recent field hockey title, the most recent women's golf title, has been in the last 4 women's lacrosse championships, and has seen improvements in volleyball, and women's basketball has very recently had a very high peak.
Very recently?
Yes, very recently. No, very recently as in
today.
4 years ago. But like that's
Right.
really recent. That's
Right.
really
It's
recent.
very recent.
So I think like there aren't that many schools, especially like also if you consider like we don't have like every sport that like some other schools have.
have
Like
swimming.
we don't have like gymnastics, right?
True.
Oh,
yes.
So like
Loki would love a gymnastics.
so like you
team.
can't like dock Northwestern for not having gymnastics in the gymnastics world. So I think like considering the sports that Northwestern has and how good they are at some of them, I think there's an argument to be made.
Our fencing
Interesting.
team is number 6 in the country.
This is true.
Yeah.
See, there's just so many.
Yeah, these
I-
may be valid points.
I guess if you're looking at like the major sports like
Yeah.
basketball, soccer, it's like mid. But if you look at like the niche sports,
Our soccer team.
no, but I'm
did
saying
this
like
year.
they're not winning national
Right.
championships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like they made the NCAA tournament.
Exactly. So I'm
Like,
saying if
it's-
you look at like niche teams,
Yeah.
then I guess that's a pretty valid point.
Yeah.
But is it good to have a team who's very, very, very good, or a bunch of teams that are like
Pretty good.
pretty good?
Wait, I definitely think the second one. I think if we had a really good like
Not that I
basketball
don't
team,
agree.
but fencing, soccer, ice hockey, like anything
Yeah.
else that we had was all garbage, it'd be like, you guys are like one hit wonders.
Yeah.
And I feel like we can't say that.
We
for
should be
our
feared
women's
across
sports.
departments.
Yeah.
I do
Of
think
course
that
we
is a
have
valid
to
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took some sinking in. So who's number 2?
I don't know.
Anybody.
Maybe like
He's like, I didn't prefer that.
maybe like
You're
I
going
don't
off
know,
script.
UCLA or
Yeah,
like
that's not a bad shout.
Nebraska
Okay.
or something.
I think UCLA is not a bad shout.
Yeah.
Because basketball, they're pretty good. Soccer, they're good.
Do they
Softball,
have
they're
niche?
great.
Does
Don't
UCLA
they
have
have
like
gymnastics?
UCLA
They do.
gymnastics,
It's
that's
your
their
niche.
niche.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
their niche for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Their
there's like
softball team's pretty good too. I think.
Yeah.
Yes, they are great.
Isn't our figure skating good
see.
too?
We do have a good figure skating.
Oh,
I don't
feel like
think
they're-
I don't
UCLA
think
has
they're NCAA
archery
sport.
and equestrian.
Oh yeah, we wait.
You know what? Yeah.
Wait,
What?
don't we have an equestrian club here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have tons of clubs
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like they're pretty good, but they're not NCAA sports yet.
Can you imagine NCAA equestrian?
Wait, I love that.
Sick.
Kane's
Equestrian
giveaway
is
at the new
low-key.
equestrian meet.
I love that.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll transform Longfield by Elder to become.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
equestrian
Yes.
site.
That'd be great.
Maybe we can have our own like Kentucky Derby as well.
Oh, yeah.
like,
The lake.
on the
Yeah,
lake.
we all dress up.
I think I'm cooking
In the
something
lake.
good.
It can be
like
like
when
it
the
can
lake
float out of
freezes,
the
like
lake.
I
I
think
think
we're
like
going off in attendance.
I
Cool.
think it would be
Okay. I can go next.
cool. Okay.
So I technically have 2, and I can't really decide which one I can defend best because I think I can't really defend either. So I'm just gonna say them both, and then you guys can just say which one I should actually
And
defend.
then we can
No,
just
do
like
the
bash
first
you
one.
for.
Do the first one. Okay.
Yeah.
So my first hot take is that whenever people say, in terms of women's sports, grow the game, it is basically just code for make it more appealing to men.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a
Um,
great shout.
I just feel like a lot of times people are saying, oh, like it needs more viewership, but I feel like that more viewership is just making it more applicable
Mhm.
to, let me not say the wider audience, because I feel like you should always be trying to market to a wider audience, but I feel like the things that, I don't know, I feel like the things that are trying to be altered isn't necessarily trying to deepen the audience we already have, but
Mhm.
literally trying to just get more people. And I feel like there are first things first. I feel like we should be doing things to make it more available to current audiences.
agree.
Than just trying to.
I think available versus a blanket grow
Yes.
is a good point because I do think that tries to make women's sports something that frankly it's really not.
Yeah.
And I think that it's totally fair to say that the audiences involved are different.
Yeah.
And I think to an extent like you should be trying to market to some audiences that are willing to pay a lot for other sports, but I don't think forcing it is the way to go because
Yeah.
it's not.
I
Because you don't
agree.
want to bring in some toxic people that are involved in some other
Yeah.
realms.
And the whole atmosphere of the sport changes.
yeah,
I feel like you could say the same about like artists too. Like sometimes when they start like instead of just staying like with the loyal fans they
Harry
had, and
Styles.
they start like
Oh.
sorry. Just keep going. Just keep going. Okay, keep going. Okay. And they kind of just like keep expanding and trying to get just more people in
Yeah.
general. They
Yeah.
kind of lose that loyal
Niche.
fan base
Yeah.
and also that niche. And I feel like if you have a niche of fans who are loyal and like exude this love for the sport, then you will naturally get more people
Mhm.
without
Yeah.
trying. So
Yeah.
I feel like
Thank you.
yeah.
Hot take is true take. Love that.
Yes.
Okay.
I can go next with mine. I think that the Women's College World Series for softball is way more interesting and fun to watch than the MLB World Series.
The MLB World Series specifically.
Yeah,
Okay.
like World Series to World Series. I could also like make it a blanket and just say like in general over MLB. I feel like in general maybe college sports are sometimes more fun to watch
I've
than
like, heard
professional
a lot
sports.
of people say this.
I feel like it's more of a like I don't know. Oh, I feel like there's more love for the game, and
Yeah.
especially for softball in general is much more quick paced. I feel like there's a lot more that could go wrong quickly. And I feel like just watching these girls who are in college and like not only striving to win this championship for their school, like I don't know. I feel like it's more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot better clips that come out of it. Not saying like MLB isn't fun to watch at all. I also enjoy it a lot, but that's my hot take.
I feel like I've heard this like super generally across like all sports.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
people
college
just
sports.
feel like college sports are more enjoyable to watch because they're putting in the effort. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They're trying to get those pro coaches' attention.
Mhm.
Like they're trying to look impressive and look
Yeah.
appealing.
Something to
And
fight
then
for.
like I'm just thinking about the NBA. I'm at like I can't remember who it was that I was watching the other day, but there was like one player and he was literally just like walking around. Like he was just like walking and just like grabbed the ball, shot, walked the other way. Like I was like, this would
Yeah.
never happen because they like got what they achieved their goal. They're in the NBA. They're done. They're in the
They're
pro
making
league.
big
Like,
money.
they're making big money. And the worst case, okay, like you go to the G League. Like okay, you like
Still haven't
get
named
traded.
yourself.
Like your contract is still like what $3 million minimum. Like
Yeah.
You're still
Yeah.
making like brand
Exactly.
deals on top of that.
So true.
And I feel like that can even like translate to MLB too. Like
Yeah.
the players who like you're probably going to be out, but you don't sprint to first base. It's like it's that
Yeah.
effort that's just not there
Right.
anymore. And I feel like even college baseball is probably better than MLB.
Interesting.
But definitely I would say Women's College World Series.
Yeah, I feel like also in like college, especially like with softball, like maybe like the fans are so much more into it than like maybe people like go to the World Series and they're like, oh, I like got tickets from my company, or like, oh, I get to go to the World Series, but they don't
Yeah.
care as much about like the game, and it's like
Right.
I feel like everyone that's like at the college World Series is like so into it,
Yeah.
and they're like really like invested, so that just like makes the environment so much more like exciting.
Yeah.
I remember even the Wrigley game, like for Michigan this year,
Mhm.
there were I was like the average age in there was like 40.
Yeah.
Like everyone was coming back to like watch Michigan, travel distances to
Right.
watch Michigan, like come and support their like school.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like growing up in the Northeast, that phenomenon of like college sports just like kind of doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And so I feel like coming to a Big Ten school like Northwestern and just seeing that like camaraderie surrounding it, I definitely have like begun to understand why people care so much more about college sports than before. But no, I agree.
I was so shocked. I was like, what are they doing?
I feel like that's
Like
very
should you be
SEC.
working or
Yeah.
Everyone in my entire family, we all have like Georgia Bulldogs, like hoodies, like you just have it. No one in my family has stepped foot on a UGA campus. Literally ever.
That's
But like that's just how it is.
Yeah, we don't have like Rutgers merch.
I don't even know what mine would be.
There was oh my god, I
Awesome
remember the
knowledge.
first time I ever stepped into Newark Airport and there was like this huge R in there and I was like, what is that?
what's there an R? in
Why is
there?
there an R in
Yeah.
here? Like,
R for red.
all right.
New Jersey.
Last hot
New
take.
shirt.
Last hot take.
Phenomenal.
I'm to be honest with you, I'm not really sure how wide reaching this hot take is, but
Okay.
I am not a fan of high impact player rules that circumvent a salary cap.
Mm.
The NWSL recently released one. It's called the Rodman rule, and it basically means that there's a salary cap for every team what they can spend to pay their players, but for any player on a designated list that they give with specific criteria, the team can select one of their players in the team to go $1 million over the salary cap rule. And I am not personally, I think that either you should keep the salary cap hard and fast or you should get rid of it altogether. I don't like that rule.
We had a segment
We
on
did.
this
Yeah?
on her take.
We did.
And it was
What,
very
2 weeks ago?
unanimous. Yeah, I don't know. It was very unanimous in the fact that like it didn't make any like it makes sense for the people that are running the league.
Right.
But for
Right.
the players, for the people that are going to be getting the money, like, it helps Rodman. Great,
Yeah.
you meet the
She
criteria.
can get paid.
But I think it, like, there was some stat that it was like 27 players or something met it.
Yeah.
And that's just like, if your team decides that, okay, you met the criteria, are you worthy of it in my own eyes?
Right.
I just feel like either you have the cap and it's the cap, or you take all that extra million that you just had to give out and
Pay
maybe
more
disperse that and pay them
Pay
all more.
Exactly.
But
It's kind of,
yeah,
I feel like the behavior of some major women's sporting organizations and their commissioners have not been the best as
Consistent.
of late.
Consistent.
Let's just say that, especially when it pertains to paying their players properly.
Yeah.
But that is my hot take.
I think that's a real take. I don't know. Yeah,
I
it's
think we've
just
had some
like
pretty real takes today.
I feel like all our takes have been real.
yeah.
Yeah.
So recap: we're lowering women's basketball. Northwestern's goated.
Listen, yes, we made big discoveries. How journalism of us.
Yes.
All right, I think we're ready for the next one.
Yeah. We of course, even though we're doing games, we also wanted to touch on a couple just newsworthy things. I was just scrolling on Instagram and I saw that there was a new bar being put in Wrigleyville, and it's actually from a Northwestern alum, and she's starting a sports bar. And Chelsea and I have done segments on like women's sports bars quite a few times now, but I thought this one was cool because it was she was a Northwestern basketball player. Her name is Clarissa Flores. She's launching Level Sporting Club in spring of this year. Not like an official date, but around the months. And it's a couple of blocks away from Wrigley. The ownership and investment group is made up of largely former athletes and women with deep ties to sports. So a lot of investment in women in general. Um, there's an upstairs, which is like the main bar, and then there's a downstairs, which is like a candlelit lounge, which I thought was interesting. And I just kind of talk about like maybe the fact that it's so close to Wrigley, with the fact that there's a lot of sports bars in Chicago in general, I feel like, but especially in Wrigley because it's where the Cubs play. So maybe just like thoughts about like, will it attract crossover from these Cubs games? Will it do well in this spot? Was there a better place maybe for it? Just kind of overall thoughts.
I feel like if you're trying to open a sports bar in Chicago, it's gonna be either Wrigley Field or Soldier Field, which like now the Bears are moving, so you're not gonna go
Yeah.
to Soldier Field because that revenue is gonna die and whatever. So I feel like that's a pretty solid place. Also, like anytime there's always gonna be foot traffic. Anytime like you can have a slow season, but like baseball season, like Northwestern, like Wrigley games, like all kinds of things, there's always guaranteed to be foot traffic, and there's so many fans coming from so many places that like there's no way for them to not have people come. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people are always trying to try out new bars, always trying to go to new places. There's also this like the 2 floor situation. It's like it's like different. You know what I mean? So people want to try it and like want to try and see new places before games because obviously everyone's gonna like hang out before the game and then come.
No, I agree. And I think going back to what Chelsea was talking about earlier about growing the game, I think this is a really organic way to go about it because I think it gives people a place to connect over things. And then maybe they look to their left on the TV as a WNBA game or an NWSL game, and they can see that and maybe they'll be like, wow, this player's really good. Let me look her up. And I think little things like that help grow it more authentically. And I do think that the foot traffic thing definitely helps as well. So.
I think it would also be interesting. It's like even if like obviously there are more like women focused like sports bars like opening. I'd be interested if like maybe like people are just going to these and they see like I want to watch like women's sports more, and then they go to like just any random sports bar and they're like, oh, could you put this game on? Or like maybe just it'll have like a kind of trickle down effect where it's like there's just more women's sports like in bars generally.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I think it's important too that it's not like the name of the bar isn't necessarily like something women focused. So then like maybe someone will just like
You
walk
happen to
in there
and
and
like,
wander
"Oh."
and then be like, wait, there's so many like games going on and it all happens to be women's sports, but it doesn't necessarily seem like they're like pushing
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
So
Right.
then maybe it'll also just like kind of normalize it, and then
Right.
like Jonah said, like they'll go into these other bars and be like, can you put on this game like for the WNBA or something like that. So I think it'll be cool. I might. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not of age.
I'm not of
I'm
age
not of
either.
age. When I am of age, I might check it out.
So true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like there's nothing wrong. I feel like it's the perfect place, the perfect time,
Yeah.
and the perfect way to do it.
I agree.
Yeah.
To accomplish the goal of just getting more viewership and then making money.
And I mean,
Also, just like the connections to Northwestern.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
like those like Northwestern students, I feel like are going to be more inclined to go
Yeah.
Yeah.
somewhere that like is, or like even seeing an alum like doing
Yeah.
something like this, like even girls doing like sports clubs and things like that, like seeing that a woman like did something like this, like empowerment.
Yeah. And if it looks like how it does in my head, where it's like little like random memorabilia everywhere, like
Yes.
there'll be like
Yeah.
some Northwestern
Oh, for
Yeah, yeah.
sure.
homage.
That would be
Probably
cool.
some of her memorabilia.
Yeah. Yeah. Her own
You got it. You
stuff.
got
Like,
it.
get the word,
You got it. You got it.
I
No.
get it.
But like, and I also think too, like she did say that it was gonna be, they would have like men's sports on, but it'd be kind of like just like
There.
women's sports would take priority, which I think
Yeah.
is
You
good.
can have
Like
men's
you can
sports on the radio.
balance.
Like,
You have to listen in. With,
Or it
like,
could be like one TV like in the corner.
yeah,
Yeah.
the one on the way to the bathroom.
He's like, give her a TV. Give
like but I feel like it's good too because that proposes that like there should be balance. Like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be one over
Yeah,
the other.
yeah.
Like it should be they should exist in a
Yeah.
I feel like the only context in which you would like see women's sports in like any sort of setting like that is like tennis.
yeah.
I agree.
where every single
Or like
TV is.
Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good
definitely.
point.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect. Let's go. I think we have
15.
time for one more. I don't want to go crazy over because I want them to have their time. But overrated, underrated, and properly rated. So me and Brielle had some topics listed on here. And we'll try to get through as many as possible. But if you feel the need to rant your heart out, I'm never gonna stop you. So first on, this is yours. It was just this is mine.
This was
This was me.
yours. I just wrote it
Um,
down.
So alternative basketball leagues for the NBA. I'm talking like unrivaled, like 3-on-3 leagues, things like that. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. Is it useful? Is it necessary? I can start.
Yeah, wait, start.
I personally, this is not even like I don't have any stats. Like I just don't like them. I think anything where I don't want to like say something like it's completely wrong.
Okay. No.
Because I don't really
Follow your
know
heart.
how much they have like kind of worked together like with the WNBA, but I feel like if they're working against each other, then I just don't see any point in it. I feel like
Yeah.
if we all have the same goal, like it's great to have multiple different avenues for people to watch, and I get that maybe 3-on-3 could be more entertaining, whatever. I just think if you're not helping the WNBA, then you're against it.
I'm gonna say that for the purpose of paying the players more and giving them more opportunities to play in the off season in the United States, I say properly rated. Otherwise, I'm gonna say overrated. I personally agree. I don't like the 3x3 style. I'm not like a big fan of the way that it's just all the teams are in the same hotels. There's like a big unrivaled bubble going on. Like I feel like in a sense this is more of an entertainment league than a serious off-season league, I guess. Just seeing how like they have so much social media content creation going on with the fact that there's so many people in the unrivaled bubble. I don't know. I just think that even though there was like a whole stadium of people, like 25,000 people in Philadelphia a couple of nights ago watching Unrivaled
Right.
when it was on tour, that was really cool. But I think that, again, it plays into kind of this view that I have that it's more of an entertainment thing than anything else. So,
I feel like I don't have much to add. Like you really covered that.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
Great.
moving on. Let's go. Okay. I will skip to one of mine, but athletes redshirting seasons. Is this overrated, underrated, or properly rated?
I'm gonna go overrated because I think if you're redshirting because of an injury, that's a separate category.
Okay.
But to redshirt to wait out a draft, I feel like at that point, like, just go to another league, if that makes sense. Like, I'm putting in my head, I just like immediately went basketball, and I was like, if you're redshirting to wait out the NBA draft, go to the Euro League go to the G League.
Mm.
And like I don't have much to defend myself because I see both sides. Like I see the weighted out, and it's kind of like the same thing as reclassing, I guess, for like recruitment to college basketball. It's just more of a strategic move for the athlete. But honestly, like, and at this point, it might be something that they all have to do because of the transfer portals. But I just think you're taking an opportunity away from like somebody who's supposed to come in the next like year and the next cycle of recruitment just because like you want to wait it out and you want a better deal. Like you can move on to another league and eventually get to the NBA while they're here stuck like they can't even get into college like play because you won't leave.
It's fair. It's a solid take.
I mean, yeah, I feel like the years in general, like again, I agree with injuries. I feel like it is very different because obviously if you have a season-ending injury, then okay, like
You can't.
Yeah.
you obviously
You want
cannot
that year
play.
back.
But if you are like physically able to play and maybe you're like maybe your coach just isn't playing you because maybe you're not ready or something like that, like work at it. Don't redshirt so then you just stay another year because
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you're like a super senior
Yeah.
playing on this team where
Yeah.
it's supposed to be you're supposed to be developing young talent, kind of
Exactly.
like what you were saying, Sylvia. And so like I don't know.
I feel like redshirting and transferring go hand in hand now
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people are not redshirting anymore and they're just hitting the portal and they're just school hopping.
Yeah. I don't
So,
know. I feel like what you were saying about redshirting being really similar to like reclassing. I feel like so my brother plays basketball and like the way that like just like growing up in any sort of league at all, like you're with like the same like group of
Yeah.
kids all the time. So he's played for like years. He's in 8th grade now, and the amount of kids that have either just changed sports, which is valid, kids do that, or are literally in different years than him
Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah.
Because they parents will take their 11-year-old and say the other 11-year-olds you're playing against are too big, like they're bigger than you. You need more time, and they'll hold them back in school.
But think about it now. If people
is
are
insane.
redshirting, right? They're holding back that spot. My brother, he also plays basketball. He's thinking about going into recruitment. He's thinking about reclassing because there's no spots.
Yeah.
Because they're like, people are going to start going D3 and like transferring into D1. And at some point, this is a little bit getting ahead of myself, but like at some point with this transfer portal thing, like players are going to come out of the G League, come out of the NBA to come back and play in college, which we see is happening. And D1 is just going to be pro basketball, and D3 is going to be college basketball
Yeah.
because
That's sad.
people are just moving
Ooh,
around.
hot
There's
take.
like no room for
Yeah.
anyone.
Yeah. Love that.
I did see it. Okay, real quick. I did see a thing the other day about how like sometimes watching D2 and D3 sports is way more fun anyway because they're still doing it for a love of the game
Right.
and not
Yeah.
for money.
Right.
And I agree with that. Like maybe some of them to then get like recognized by higher coaches, but again, they're doing it for the love of the game and like they're trying. And
But a
such.
lot of people like recruitment, like my brother's working with like recruitment coaches and things like that, and they're telling him like there's like maybe one spot on like a small amount of teams for like recruitment next year. You're better off going D3 because they hold more spots for transfers than they do for freshmen.
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah. No one's taking chances on people anymore.
Oh
Yeah.
God. There's no
The
underdog
lost art
story.
of
The
the
hope
underdog.
is dying. The hope is
my God,
dying.
underdog. Oh my God.
Wait, this is like I could like go on and on. for
Yeah,
hours.
this is
we
this is
could low-key
really horrible.
dive into this. But yeah, unfortunately, we have gone a little over, and I fear it is Sports Voice's turn. But this was really fun.
Yes, let me
Let's do the wonderful read
an
again.
amazing paragraph.
Oh, I don't know where it is.
That's okay. But yeah,
Here,
thank you
wait.
guys so much for coming on. I hope this was typically more fun than our normal shows because we do a little bit more fun things. But yes, so amazing. So thanks for joining us for Sportsathon 2026 on WNUR Sports. Sportsathon is WNUR Sports' lone fundraiser and helps the station maintain its equipment, travel to Northwestern athletic events across the country, and bring you the best coverage of Wildcat athletics. To donate and check out the awesome premiums you can receive during Sportsathon, including WNUR Sports hoodies, t-shirts, and stickers, you can head on over to WNURsports.com and click on Sportsathon.
Thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys not
Next
next week because it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Ooh.
But the week
What
after that.
crazy news that I was supposed to know?
I thought you. We'll see you guys later. Bye.